In my American government class, we are recording speeches about things that are significant and important to us from Chapter 1 in our textbook. I have 3 main points that I would like to discuss with you. These points are the us versus them mentality in America, the marginal tax rate which is resulting in the dying middle class, and what America's founders were thinking and considering while they were founding our country. Americans tend to make flawed assumptions about homeless people. We think to ourselves, those people are lazy, they aren't as smart as us, they don't have the drive or capability, and they just plain don't want to find jobs. As far as we know, these people were not given the same educational opportunities. Their parents and financial situations were chosen for them. They were just not fortunate enough to have parents who lived in upscale neighborhoods or were gifted enough to allow them to be sent to top-notch schools to receive a good education. The next idea I would like to discuss is the idea of the bow tie distribution of wealth in America. The current marginal tax rate threshold allows Steve Jobs' $500 million to be taxed the same as the average Joe's $200,000. This doesn't make sense. Average Joe's $200,000 means a lot more to him than Steve Jobs' $500 million. Under this flawed system, the rich are becoming richer and the poor are becoming poorer. The middle class is becoming extinct. The middle class is essential to America's success for several key reasons. As poorer people in America have less access to education and are less informed, the middle class keeps the rich people honest and allows the poor people to have a voice in the government. They also allow the poor people to make decisions that are in their best interest as opposed to the interest of the rich people. In other countries with a great disparity in wealth, the rich people brainwash the unsuspecting poor people into voting for things that actually hurt them. The rich people present the problems with the vote as being beneficial to the poor people by twisting and manipulating the facts. The founders in America studied previous governments and some of the greatest thinkers of all time. They studied the thoughts of various successful philosophers such as Aristotle and Copernicus. They took only the greatest thoughts and they did not accept the philosophers' thoughts as their own. Instead, they challenged the philosophers' thoughts to make sure that they were still relevant and they made sense. For example, Aristotle said that once a republic became too big, the entire government would not function because it would be too corrupt, because it would be on too big of a scale. After careful consideration, America's founding fathers determined that a republic would indeed work and would be in the best interest for America. They also studied some of the greatest minds of the current time. They studied both John Locke and Thomas Hobbes, who were 2 people who lived during roughly the same period but had completely different thoughts on government. Hobbes believed that humans gave up their rights in order for their safety from the government. Locke argued that man had certain unalienable rights, such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Locke also believed in social contracts, which said that if a government is corrupt and does not do what we the people want, the people have a right to overthrow the official or start over and overthrow the government. This was especially important to Americans during this time because we had just gotten out of a Revolutionary War against the King of England and Parliament. The idea of social contracts helped a lot of people be more accepting of this government because if the government does not do what they want or intended for them to do, they have the opportunity to overthrow the government or make significant changes in order to get what the people want.